Map number 1 here of a best of 3. It's the quarterfinals of Go4SC2 Monday. The winner of this gets into the semi-finals, and the winner of that gets a shot at some money and a spot in the monthly €600 Go4 finals. So, let's introduce these two. Spawning to the top right, we have got the green Terran player. He represents Alien Invasion. It's Lillekanin. And his opponent down to the lower left, the yellow Protoss player, also representing Alien Invasion, CPU. So this is going to be a cool best of 3, a bit of Terran versus Protoss. I'm really glad to be casting a non-Zerg game tonight, because I've had so many ZVZs this evening. It seems all of the Zergs have come out to play. Not a very busy evening in terms of players either. Mostly, I suspect that's due to a lot of stuff happening this week. WCS, of course, EU Premier, and I believe AM Premier starts in the coming days. That's going to be very cool. It actually starts tomorrow. Wednesday night, right here, I'm going to be casting the Go4SC2 April monthly finals, so make sure you check that out because it's going to be sweet. Thursday, more WCS. Friday, there's something else as well. It's just a busy Starcraft 2 week, and that's always cool. Anyway, in terms of openings, looks like Lillekanin is going to be going for a Reaper. Meanwhile, CPU getting the 1 gate down, the double gases, and sending a probe out early. This could very well be to scout, most likely will be. Potentially though, there's also the option that it's going to be there to try and proxy something. Nope, both workers go either side of this little clump in the middle, so they're not going to be able to see where the other is coming out. A proxy is potentially viable. How many workers have been put in these gases? Okay, it's only 4. So, not necessarily going to be any kind of quick tech. If it was 6 probes in gas, a proxy of some variety could occur. Also, and I am actually a lot more shocked by this, we don't have a Reaper yet. We're getting a reactor come down. Just 1 Marine came out. It could still be Reapers, going for 2 at once. But this first Marine just instead making sure that everything's safe. What has actually been seen by Lillekanin that's making him concerned? Okay, just the 2 gases and no sign of a natural base. He just wants to be cautious for the moment. So, second barracks being added in. This could be 3 Reapers produced simultaneously. That can also be pretty cool. Actually, no, where is all the gas going for Lillekanin? He's not spending anywhere else. Okay. He only got the reactor down. Tech lab immediately off the back of that. Okay. This is a bit more of a... This is pretty cool. So, as it stands, we've still got just a very normal opening at the moment. Do you have a robo being proxied, though, from CPU? Things are going pretty nice. Nothing unusual occurring yet. Well, a proxy robo is quite unusual to be fair, but it hasn't been scouted. So, as far as Lillekanin thinks, this is all safe. Proxy factory is coming down. That's what was queued up. That's where all the gas went, but it's been discovered. This is a problem now, because this factory cannot complete. There's no SCV coming over. A couple of Marines are heading that general direction, but the Stalker with the Watchtower vision will know that they're on their way. There's now a lot of Marines being produced, but they don't have any support. There's no medevac coming through. The 2 Stalkers can actually duke this out really quite well. They've just got to be a bit careful of the eventual concussive shell upgrade and the Marauder. Stalker's backing away now. They may try and finish off this factory just to make sure that it can never be completed by the SCV. SCV still running around the side. Factory having to be left and abandoned just in case a flank came through. So, this is all good. War Prism also on its way in. Both players proxying at the moment. This is an unusual situation. But, I'd argue CPU's got the edge. Just. Unfortunately for him, no Mothership Core. All of his gas going into these 4 gates and the proxy robo. So he should be about to see a big warp in from him. Defensively, he needs at least a sentry down here or something just to be on the real safe side. Oh, actually going to float this factory up. This does 2 things. 1, high ground vision, allowing the Marines and Marauders to shoot up. Secondly, Widow Mines can be made in your opponent's main base. That's always annoying too. So, defense position from CPU at the moment. The SCV's discovered, yep, that is indeed a natural base, and unfortunately for CPU, he does not know that the factory's here. Ooh. War Prism not being neutralized either, as of yet, and Lillekanin playing a very fun game. He's got a Widow Mine coming through. This is still unbeknown. No idea that that's there yet. Bunker now on its way through. The sentry's in a good position. Force field off. Try and trap a couple of units. Will force back the infantry. But still no knowledge about this factory. Still no knowledge about the fact that we're going to see a Widow Mine coming. Quick little force field traps one Marine. Probably not worth 2 force field. Well, it kind of is because it's energy for units. But Widow Mine about to pop out. Is there an observer? No, there isn't. But we do have the Warp Prism now moving forward. Should activate. Should start warping in some more units. Widow Mine already positioned. Already dealing some nice damage. How many kills has he got? None. So actually not dealing nice damage yet. Instead though, I'm going to just stop any mining from these probes. Really frustrating. Interestingly, all these probes have just been pulled, as opposed to doing much else, and that's because CPU devoting his attention to try and pick off this tech lab. If that goes down, it's a big loss. It's going to be fairly close. If he manages to get it, no stim, but the SCV repair should be just enough for now. Marines also getting pulled back over. We've got more SCVs being pulled to try and defend this. Time being bought. Probes mining now from the natural base. The main still unable to do anything yet, and stim should be able to finish up. The Zealot's getting a bit of damage down, but overall, we do see that Lillekanin, he's taken a larger amount of damage than his opponent. Factory now lifting. The Widow Mine, there is still only the one sitting here in the main base. The Observer coming across. Gonna see, there we go. He knows. He is aware. He is prepared. Quick little takedown there. All looking good. Nothing too unusual occurring for the time being, but we will be getting a bit more of a stabilized position now. Warp Prism Harass still trying to come through. We've actually got Reactor coming down on this factory here, so... Okay, now picking up, moving over a bit further. Doesn't want to be within watchtower range. That's actually a really smart move, because CPU will have seen that. Well, actually didn't. Wow, okay. Well, he may have done. He's still got vision, so he would have seen that it's gone. Stalkers, though, pushing forward. Concussive Shell and Stim are both done, so these Stalkers have to be very careful. The Marauders, if they get those Concussive Shells off, the Stalkers can't kite. And that could be a problem. Forward though, CPU goes. He's still trying to get some damage down. Wants to save his Warp Prism no matter what. So picks off that Viking. Was the only one. So this is going to allow at least another warp in. Stim triggered. No medevac support though. Good force fields zone out a lot of the infantry. Another wave warp in should be coming shortly. We'll wait to see when they actually kick. Still poking the prodding. Another great force field comes down, allowing CPU to pick apart a couple of these infantry units one at a time. The double medevac production though is incoming. Once those medevacs hit, there's a lot more healing for the infantry, and that's where suddenly Stim becomes such a useful tool. More good force fields. The army supply 19 to 28, but the trades must maintain this positive ratio. A lot of SCVs are being killed, but mules can balance that out. This push has to keep doing damage. Continual force fields on the ram, trying to prevent reinforcements coming through. Will it be enough? Quick lift there on the medevac. A mule gets taken down, and the natural base now being focused. Tough spot for Lillekanin. CPU, he's looking pretty good. May even get this orbital command. Lillekanin has no choice but to try and save this. Force field traps a Marauder and a Marine down there. Quick little pickup, tries to boost them up into the high ground, keeping them alive and buying more time for this orbital. But due to it already being on fire, it could very well burn out anyway. Quick little hug up here. The two medevacs trying to heal as best they can, but Lillekanin knows he's not going to be able to hold. GG's out, and CPU takes game number 1 of this best of 3.